Roze is a girl. Code Geass, Roze of the Recapture. Episode 11 review. Okay, so first off, this episode is racist. I mean, literally, it was racism within racism, and they killed the black girl hella fast. After validating that she was good. So the thing I like about, Recapture the most is that when we get to the continuity of Code Geass, this is definitely, one that's more stunning, and more of an experience, but it does reference why, the other ones are way better. And what I love about, Roze, the Recapture, the Code Geass series in general, is that it contains a multiverse, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And that's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! By the way, because that's the one with the multiverse theory, like Future Trunks, where, duelists from other dimensions and, players from other dimensions do intertwine, and what ends up happening, throughout the whole series of Roze is we figured out that Roze is a double agent, and there are way more people above him or her, wherever you wish, and when it comes to multiplying, this Code Geass, is really thrilled. And around episode 5 or 7, I believe, we got to see the real Lelouch. We already got to see Akido. I love Akido. The more I watch the series, the more I think about Code Geass as a whole, and this one literally puts emphasis on action. And just a surprise, as Cornelia stepped in and Kaguya stepped in, it got way more political. They start, intertwining nations and Code Geass, it's going down. This, episode Roze really had me, tripping because what she had to do, not just to fool the government, but to keep her brother content. And it's not her brother, but it's pretty close. It's kind of like a Rolo when it comes to continuity. And what keeps on happening is the series is I'm reminded that these Nightwings are hella strong, and what does Lelouch fall for in the original series of Code Geass? How did he fall in the original part 1 before R2? There's a thing called intelligence and positioning is very important when it comes hand-to-hand combat. There's positioning, and then there's transitioning and fighting. And who took down Lelouch within part 1? Snizel. And how did Snizel do it? By putting himself in a better position when Lelouch uses the highest of intelligence, is what this series puts emphasis on, because what Roze does throughout the whole series is he uses intellect in order to fuel intellectual property for the government. And this episode is crazy. Her disguise is coming off. We really see how other characters get created in this episode. How the Sakura Ghetto literally gets involved in this series is crazy, because we never had Code Geass series with this much detail, and this one does put emphasis that this is a different series, and even though it does have things to outshine them, this series falls where it comes to originality, but where it comes keep up the storyline, it's really crazy. I can't wait to see literally what happens when Lelouch steps in. So the memes are getting more intense, and we recognize that as the Sakura Ghetto, as he turns up, Roze almost dies literally very crash in one of the Gundam builds. The disguise, falls off all throughout this episode. What continues to be the basis is that the characters are strong, but the planning of the government is that much stronger. I don't know how much longer the brother is going to last. But overall, this episode, reminded me why other races needed to step in, and why Roze is getting caught in a conspiracy. Other than that, this is a quick, summary / review of Code Geass, Roze the Recapture.